Hey, how's it going everyone? This is the Anime Man. So I've looked around recently in anime forums, anime streaming sites, just anything that really has a kind of forum discussion kind of page, including the YouTube comment section. And I've kind of seen that there has been this kind of trend going around, which is all mainstream anime, all mainstream manga is bad. Ever since the hipster movement has kind of come around in today's society, it's really common to see people really hating on the mainstream. And really other people, especially hipsters, kind of hating on other people who say that the mainstream is good. Now, what I want to say to all the people out there who think that all mainstream anime is bad and that it's correct to hate on all mainstream anime, shut the fuck up. Because mainstream anime does not make it a bad anime. So why do so many people hate mainstream anime? Of course, there are a lot of people who do like mainstream anime. You know the ones I'm talking about. I'm sure you guys can just pop it off at the top of your head. You know, One Piece, Bleach, Naruto, Fairy Tail, Death Note, Dragon Ball Z. You know, all of these series that probably every single anime watcher has at least seen or at least heard of. But it's really common to see people hate on the mainstream. It's really common for people to hate Naruto. It's really common for people to hate Bleach, hate Fairy Tail, hate One Piece. But why? Now, out of the list of mainstream anime that I gave to you just then, there are some in there that I dislike, such as Naruto, and there are some in there which I absolutely love, like Bleach. But the one important thing I say and think about when I do judge whether I hate an anime series or not is not because it is mainstream or not. It is because whether I like the story, whether I like the characters, whether I like the show in general. Because let's be honest, regardless of whether Naruto and Bleach were mainstream or not, I would still hate Naruto and I would still like Bleach. Not because Naruto is mainstream and Bleach is not as mainstream. It's because Naruto, I think, has not great character development, has a kind of boring story. And Bleach, in my opinion, has great characters and a great, unique story. The reason I like One Piece, even though it is a mainstream anime, is because it has a great, thick story and a great cast of characters that you really interact with while watching the show. Meanwhile, I dislike Sword Art Online because it has a generic story, really sappy romance and just terrible plot holes. And not because they are mainstream or not. In fact, there are a lot of underground anime or not mainstream anime that I dislike just as much as the mainstream anime. But let's look at this in a general perspective. Let's look at this looking at the entire anime community, online and offline. It is so commonly seen that if you like the mainstream, you are automatically a unpure or bad anime watcher of the anime community. And I think the people who say that kind of stuff, the people who point at those people who like mainstream anime and say, oh, you're not a pure anime watcher, you're not a true anime fan, I think those kinds of people are really the non-true anime fans. Because if you were a true anime fan, you would let people like what they like. You would let people dislike what they like. Because apparently there are some people out there who think they have absolute authority in the anime community. And thus, if you like a series that that particular person dislikes, you are automatically a not proper anime community member. Every single person out there likes a series that nobody else likes and dislikes a series that nobody else dislikes because that is their personal preference. But then there are some arguments about why people love to hate on the mainstream anime. One of the reasons that I have personally seen in forums or reading comments is that since, you know, mainstream anime is, you know, mainstream, therefore it is popular, a lot more people like it than dislike it, is, you know, the fact that you hate a mainstream anime series, or, you know, you pretend to hate a mainstream anime series, suggests to people that, yeah, I've kind of looked around, I've watched all kinds of series, therefore I am an elite anime watcher, and therefore I dislike this mainstream anime because I want to look different in the crowd. I'm just saying I hate it just to look different and just so I can make myself look like I am a pro, when in actual fact, you know, they just hate it for no particular reason. Because, you know, I'm pretty sure there are some people out there who hate the mainstream anime that secretly go and watch these mainstream series. And sure, if you seriously hate all mainstream anime because you think they are all cliche and that they are all actually bad, then that's fine. You can say that you hate the mainstream anime, but don't make the shitty excuse of saying that you hate them because they are mainstream. Once this terrible superiority complex has disappeared from the majority of the anime community, it's going to really create a really bonded and understanding anime community, or just an understanding community in general, because if all people can understand that they dislike or like a series just because they dislike or like a series, and another person who might say have the opposite opinion on that understands that and says like, yeah, cool, that's your personal preference. If you like it, but I dislike it, then go ahead and like it. If you dislike it and I like it, go ahead and dislike it. I don't care. I still like it or dislike it. I still have an opposite opinion about you. Then it's gonna make so much more of a pleasant anime community. And look, I will admit wholeheartedly on camera that I have been guilty of these kinds of senseless bashings in the past. Saying stuff like, if you like this series that I dislike, then you are stupid. If you dislike this series that I like, then you are not understanding. But you guys gotta remember, this is just one man's opinion. I have no such superiority in this community. We are all equal in this community. I am just one man's opinion. So you don't have to listen to this opinion, because a lot of people would say that I am really wrong and that I am just spouting shit out of my mouth. And if you think that, that's your opinion. If you think I'm saying the correct things or you agree with me, then cool. But if you do disagree with me, then that's also cool, because everyone's entitled to their own opinion. That's what makes the anime community great, is that we are all different. We all have different tastes, we all have different likes and dislikes, and that's what gets the anime community going. So what do you think about this, guys? Do you like any mainstream anime? Do you dislike any mainstream anime? And are you one of those people, whether you are now or have been in the past, those people that have openly admitted to hating all, if not some, mainstream anime just because it is mainstream? I want you guys to let me know in the comments below. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. As always, like, favorite, if you enjoy, subscribe for any event. See you guys next video, whatever I make. Keep watching anime. Johnny!